was by design. Michelle set it up. There's nobody on planet Earth that never been on Instagram Live or know how to accidentally go live and have no idea. Come on, Shannon. You got to use your brain. Anyway, let's keep it going.
My uncle Shannon Sharpe
Okay. So, after this, I hope I'm continuing the same train of thought. It's very important. Well, actually, no. We're going to play one more Dr. Umar, then we're going to play the reactions of this. So Dr. Umar had previously said this, right?
Shannon Sharpe, I'm going to stand with you, my brother. Shannon Sharpe, I'm going to stand with you, my brother, on one condition.
What's the condition?
I'm getting text messages from all over the African universe telling me that Shannon Sharpe was accused of the unspeakable.
What?
I'm getting text messages telling me that Shannon Sharpe was accused of the unspeakable. I'm going to stand with my uncle Shannon Sharpe. I'm going to stand with my uncle Shannon Sharpe. I'm going to stand with Uncle Shay Shay on one condition. Uncle Shay Shay. No more snow bunnies after this scandal.
Oh, nah.
If you cannot promise me that you will never seek the company of another snow bunny, I cannot stand with you. Uncle Shay Shay. Uncle Shay Shay. I'm standing with you, Unc. I think it's a scam. I'm standing with you, Unc. I think it's a scam. I'm standing with Uncle Shannon Sharpe on this one. I'm standing with Uncle Shannon Sharpe on this one. But Uncle Shay Shay, no more bunnies after this. Can somebody confirm if he's being accused by snow bunnies or Afro-Queens?
Now, we could stop it there because Shannon, remember the audio we played, he literally says to the woman, a big black man choking a white woman. So even though she is a Spaniard and she's actually not Hispanic, but she is Spanish, and technically that's a different ethnicity group other than white, he looks at her as white because he says,
well, you're coming to LA tomorrow?
Yes.
Well, I don't know why you want to go out.
Don't worry about it, Gabby.
Well, okay.
Okay, what?
Well, I'm not really interested in getting choked, so I guess we're going.
Yeah. I might choke you in public. Big black guy chokes small white woman.
that sounds like a Pornhub title. What the fuck?
It's not a good look, Shannon.
Not a good look that you do with the shit you did to me.
Okay, well...
Well, what?
Wow. Okay. So that was that audio. Now here's the thing. There's been a lot of commentary that happened afterwards. Like, for example, what's this? All right, we don't care about that. Stephen A. Smith, and I think this was the most damning thing of it all. The tone Stephen A. Smith took, I said, Shannon's cooked. Check this out. This is Stephen A. Smith talking about this whole thing.
Case, which means that he can either be found liable or not liable. The accuser in question is seeking $50 million. That was confirmed by Shannon Sharpe on that video today. According to the reports, it's somebody that he met in 2023, who was 19 years old at that particular moment in time. According to some audio that was put out earlier today by Attorney Busby, you hear the accuser, the female, talking to somebody who is alleged to be Shannon Sharpe. We don't know whether that's true or not. And the person in question, again, we don't know whether it's Shannon or not, other the words choke, as in I will choke the hell out of you if I saw you. And so because of that, knowing that audio was probably going to come out along with additional tapes, whether they be video or audio is unclear at this particular moment in time.
Chat, you know the hard thing for me?
Shannon Sharpe felt compelled.
Hold on. You know the hard thing for me when I be watching all this shit? What's one of my favorite mottos? It's better to be liked than to be right. My nigga. There ain't a 100th the amount of evidence on Shannon Sharpe they got on me. Nigga, they ran with this shit like it was wildfire, bro. They didn't give a fuck what I thought. People like Shannon, though. Even hearing Stephen A. say this, I'm like, yo, Shannon is really like, people don't want to believe this shit. And I don't believe this shit, really, but it's like, Tony Busby has a way to make it look convincing, and it's going to make it tough for everyone, but it's like, holy shit.
To come out in his own defense. How we to interpret that. Let me be very, very clear about where I'm coming from. I'm a bit torn in terms of his response. On one hand, Tony Busby has sued Jay-Z. He did sue Diddy. He did accuse them or represented the...
He made his name of Deshaun Watson. Remember that. Y'all talked about... This is why it's so interesting for sports. Tony Busby's name in pop culture was made off Deshaun Watson. Y'all are a sports broadcast. Y'all basically talked about Deshaun Watson like he was a dog. Now he's coming after one of your colleagues. How does that look and how does it feel, Stephen A. Smith? I'm not saying I agree with him because I think it's bullshit. But now it's making y'all realize that y'all reporting about other people. I learned that too because I had to realize, I said, damn. I know my man's ain't no predator, but now the shoe's on the other foot.
The woman who was accusing them of assault, of sexual assault, and said that she was 13 years of age at the time when talking about Jay-Z and Diddy, and Jay-Z went ballistic and emphatically denied it, wouldn't let it go. The case was dropped, and now he's suing.
Shout out to Marlene on TikTok.
Busby, mentioning words like extortion and other things. So when Shannon Sharpe brought up Mr. Busby in that video that we aired and talked about him being extorted, he brought up Mr. Busby and Mr. Busby's past. And he talked about him, going against African-American men. There's two thoughts there. On one hand, there's the Jay-Z, who obviously should be presumed innocent, not just because you should be presumed innocent until found guilty, but because of the manner in which he fought on his own behalf and has been very aggressive in going after Tony Busby. In the case of P. Diddy, you don't know what to believe. Again, the case against Jay-Z was a civil suit. Diddy was a civil suit.
Yo, I'm going to keep it 100 with y'all. Y'all not going to like what I'm saying. All my real supporters, just chill out for a second. But I know y'all love me. What Stephen A. and a lot of people ain't trying to say is that, bro, in reality, dog, I don't know Diddy. Bro, I told y'all The first time I ever spoke with Diddy, like on the phone, was when he was locked up at 6ix9ine. And the first thing he said to me, he said, Ak, you know I don't hate you, right? He had messaged me before, told me us having a talk, but I thought he was trying to I don't know if he was trying to check me or press me about some Young Miami shit, but it felt like he was almost saying like, dog, you fucking on my pimp game. I'm fucking all these hoes. You making these bitches feel insecure because of your platform. You're calling them side chicks and all type of shit. Like, what's up with you, gang? I know that. By the way, that's the reason why Shaq mad at me. I get that. But this whole thing, I was like, all right, cool. And even what Stephen A. Smith is saying here.
And it's been very aggressive in going after Tony Busby. In the case of P. Diddy, you don't know what to believe.
That's my issue. Bro, y'all know y'all don't believe these hoes. But y'all keep going. Like, you see, the industry sacrificed Diddy. It's like, oh, we're going to just say Diddy is Bill Cosby. Bill Cosby was fucking these bitches just like mad other nigga was fucking these bitches. But they realized for that era to go on, they have to sacrifice a nigga. They sacrificed Bill and they're sacrificing Diddy. So when I hear him just say that phony shit like, oh, with Diddy, I don't know what to believe. Yo, gang, the same shit they kind of accusing Diddy of, they're accusing your mans of. They're accusing him of the same thing. Maybe he doesn't fit under sex trafficking, but they're saying he uses power, his money, his wealth, he's threatening violence. Bro, like, this is when you realize the whole industry is full of shit. Because at the end of the day, it's mad niggas doing weird shit. But when the public picks one person to say we're going to put the noose around his neck, niggas start making educated choices to be like, oh, okay, let Diddy go down for all this. Nigga, I don't give a fuck about Diddy. You know? This not me sticking up for him. What I'm trying to tell y'all is that y'all watching these niggas now still trying to make the distinction between Diddy and them. When you dig a hole, always dig two.
Again, the case against Jay-Z was a civil suit. Diddy was a civil suit. But in Diddy, you don't know what to believe because of all the allegations he's facing.
Stephen A., remember this. That's exactly what Shannon Sharpe said about Deshaun Watson. And then the lawyer who sued Deshaun Watson 24 times now sued him. Just remember that. There's a lot of everybody want to be like, oh, I'm just like perfect. When you dig a hole, make sure you dig two. This whole,
But we can't forget that Tony Busby was also the person that represented at least 24
there we go.
of the 27 women that accused Deshaun Watson
There we go.
of sexual misconduct along with other allegations. And at least 23 of those cases were settled. So we have an obligation to mention that. So on one hand, going on the offensive to defend himself, I completely understand where Shannon Sharpe is coming from. On the other hand, when his legal team issued out the press release on X yesterday, and they spoke about, they mentioned her name.
Let me tell you this. And this is why lawyers and this Me Too movement was always win. Look at Stephen A. Smith's face. He's heartbroken. Stephen A. Smith knows the result of this. He just can't tell us. Them top guys who talk to him, who all fly on private jets, and he's lucky enough, he's the only Negro in their club. They're clipping Shannon. This is the next frontier we're going to hear. Why'd you think Fox Sports was cool with him leaving? We heard things there. It's going to be a snowball effect. What you're seeing with Stephen A right now, he know it's all bad. It's all bad. They're going to come with, oh yeah, we did get a report about Shannon at Fox Sports. It made it difficult for our management to want to go forward. He had a case in 2012, or 2012, I mean. They're going to paint that picture. The look on Stephen A. Smith's face is he said, damn, I thought we were going to rock out a few years. He knows it's over. He knows. Look at his face.
And they revealed some of those explicit texts.
By the way, I don't think Shannon Sharpe did shit. But this is what happens when you have these big contracts. It's not necessarily if you did shit. It's if you look like you did shit. Because they're not going to bet they're not going to bet all of their contracts and whatever they got going on you're telling the truth.
Messages, that was uncomfortable. And I don't know if that's a strategy that would work. One of the hardest things in the world for all of us to do is to just lay low and be quiet. And let our legal team do it. And we don't always know whether or not that's the right thing to do. I know, and I can tell you all that I spoke to Shannon. Not in details, but I spoke to him. And he emphatically proclaims his innocence. According to Mr. Busby, his client emphatically proclaims his guilt. So where does that leave us? I'd love to tell you that I know the answer to that question, but I don't. I am the executive producer of First Take on ESPN. I recruited Shannon. I went and got him and brought him to ESPN. But I'm not the boss. Those are other folks. There are layers to this, and there are certain layers even I am not on. I can tell you, I also spoke to co-chairman of Disney, the boss, Jimmy Pitaro.
Did we get clipped on TikTok?
Who made it very, very clear. We are taking this matter very seriously. And we are looking into this very, very closely. And once we gather as many facts as we possibly can, we will go from there. And that is all he said. And I can mention his name because I received his permission to say that. I don't know what that means. In my perfect world, this equates to Jay-Z, where the case ultimately dropped and Shannon is allowed to continue on First Take and continue to thrive and shine. And not just that, and have an illustrious career in the podcast stratosphere, doing Nightcap with Chad Ochocinco, doing Club Shay Shay, and ultimately gets this $100 million deal that he was all over the news about to sign just a couple of days before this report came out. In my perfect world, he moves on. And somehow, some way, we find this all to be false. But it doesn't seem like that's the way things are about to go down, considering who Mr. Busby is.
There we go.
And how emphatic his client is proclaiming that she is right and she's telling the truth.
See, he had the opportunity to say, Man, Busby's a fucking liar. I stand with Shannon. He's keeping it. I got $100 million, Shannon. You go get it in the streets, nigga. Hold on, I think my food here.
I recruited Shannon. I went and got him and brought him to ESPN.
Let's see.
But I'm not the boss. Those are other folks.
Oh, the food's here.
There are layers to this, and there are certain layers even I am not on. I can tell you, I also spoke to co-chairman of Disney, the boss, Jimmy Pitaro, who made it very, very clear we are taking this matter very seriously, and we are looking into this very, very closely. And once we gather as many facts as we possibly can, we will go from there. And that is all he said. And I can mention his name because I received his permission to say that. I don't know what that means. In my perfect world, this equates to Jay-Z, where the case ultimately dropped and Shannon is allowed to continue on First Take and continue to thrive and shine. And not just that, and have an illustrious career in the podcast stratosphere, doing Nightcap with Chad Ochocinco, doing Club Shay Shay, and ultimately gets this $100 million deal that he was all over the news about to sign just a couple of days before this report came out.
Real nigga shit.
In my perfect world, he moves on.
Nah, they got him.
And somehow, some way, we find this all to be
Word 2.
false.
Now the Papa John's hitting over here. I ain't gonna hold you.
But it doesn't seem like that's the way things are about to go down, considering who Mr. Busby is and how emphatic his client.
All right, they be all right. I don't eat flats. I only eat... When I order wings, if I can't choose only drumsticks, I don't eat flats, period. I just throw them... Well, I give them my dogs. I don't eat no flats, period.
Is proclaiming that she is right and she's telling the truth.
Good money.
I don't know where this is going to go.
He lying.
I can't speak to anything else.
He lying. With the pace we're going, Shannon not about to be on ESPN next week, bro. That's a fact. We're going to see a post that says Shannon is taking some time off to focus on blah, 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 while we independently investigate, and then we ain't going to see that nigga. Trust. Bro, ESPN is owned by Disney, my nigga. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know who Shannon Sharpe's legal team is.
I'll eat flats, bro.
What they're suggesting. I imagine that everything that has transpired has been at the behest of his lawyers, not just himself. I can tell you again that when I spoke to him, he is emphatic in stating his innocence, that this is a shakedown, to use his words.
It is.
How wise is it to use those kind of words when a civil matter of this nature is out there? When you have a podcast and you have advertisers and sponsors?
Yo. I keep telling y'all, Chad, so I ain't sound deal. Shannon Sharpe is right. These hoes lying. I think they've been lying on him. But he got too much sponsors, so he got to play it a certain way. If he was fully independent, he could get online all the time and talk about it. But, bro, the money Shannon Sharpe is making, probably 70%. He's making good money from just YouTube, right? But he's making probably 4 times the amount of money that YouTube would pay because of sponsors. You got to appease those people. That's where I think Shannon's going to fuck up. Because here's the thing with Shannon. I'm warning you now. Like, I hope it doesn't happen. It's going to be a domino effect. The moment ESPN says we're gonna have him step down because it's a distraction, every one of his sponsors is gone. Facts. Sponsors are dick riders. If they see one person pull out, they don't want bad rep. They will put money behind Hitler until they see the bad headline. Once the bad headline comes, they want to cancel everything. So right now, no one is like putting pressure on the sponsors to say, well, if he's accused of this, why did you sign him? But what's going to happen is that through his conversations or like, someone who might have more relevancy to him, those conversations are going to be forced, and now he's going to have to do what he does. Anyway.
Sponsors, and you work for ESPN and they have advertising sponsors. I don't know. What can we say if any of us were in that position and we felt or were proclaiming we were innocent? I don't know. And I'm not about to pretend. I just wanted to make sure that I echoed to all of you that the only reason I spoke on this issue is because he works with me 2 days a week. He's on national television. He was on national television with me today. He was on national television with me yesterday when the story came out Sunday night. I didn't know anything about it until we got on the air. But he was on air. And if you know him in part because of all the work that he's doing with me and what he's doing in this industry, I know everybody's been waiting, like, Stephen A., what you got to say about this? I got to say what I just told you. I don't know what's happened. I know I got love for the brother. I know that I'm wishing that he's innocent and all of this stuff goes away and he can continue to thrive with me on ESPN and thrive in his own platforms that he worked so diligently over the years to build.
Hold up.
But anything else?
Shannon Sharpe's platform is not threatened. This is why I keep telling you. Eventually, we're going to have to make choices. Or you're going to be fully independent or you're going to be in the system. That's the only problem Shannon Sharpe is going to have right now. You could be still wildly successful without sponsorships. But I think if he was talking about $100 million, he wants these industry like assisted situations to make sure he get whatever money he wants to get. Those things are going to be affected because people who like Shannon Sharpe or like this type of stuff, they're going to be caring about this a lot.
Else would be entirely irresponsible for me to speak on. And I can't do that. Yes, I own this. This is my platform. But I also have a day job and I also understand what lawyers, what HR, and all of those other things entail. What I said is all I can say. And in all honesty, at this moment, it is all I know. I have no idea what direction ESPN and Walt Disney will go in when it comes to this matter. All I do know is it won't be me making a decision. It'll be others upstairs. In the end, all of us have someone to answer to. No matter how maverick we try to be and we own our own business and we're our sole proprietors like I am on this platform and stuff like that. There are advertisers, there are sponsors, there are people you do.
Let me just stop it right here, man. Stephen A. done told us basically the game plan. ESPN finna be done with Shannon Sharpe. It's not the end of his career. I think Shannon Sharpe has a illustrious business model, audience, platform, and product. He's going to be fine. He's going to have to get in his head, though, that trying to rely on these people to advance things for you, do things for you, show your appreciation, you're going to waste your time. That's the only thing I could say. Anyway, I see a lot of people chimed in afterwards, right? I seen a bunch of people play the. There's a Breakfast Club posting about this, and this is what they said. Check this out.
Quote from a text message. So the quote, and some of it I can't even say, I don't think, but
54.
54 and she was 19 years old.
So listen, and how old he is?
Yeah, I think he's like 56.
Nah,
With 2,500 a cheek. So what? Like
25,000 a
or
cheek.
25,000 a cheek.
Google says he is 56 years old.
But were they actually a couple?
Yes, they were. They were doing
According
whatever
to her.
this did.
Yo, women are so delusional. They weren't a fucking couple. He was telling her whatever she needed to hear that he could keep fucking. It's always women who are just saying this bullshit. Like, that's why they say I was with Selena. I'm like, no, I wasn't, my nigga. You know what I mean? Hold on. So I can play. There's a newer Breakfast Club clip. Was it played? Oh, no, I can't find it. No, I can't find it.
He was 50 and she was 19.
56. 54.
54 and she was 19 years old.
So listen, and crafted to falsely portray a consensual act as non-consensual. So yes, whatever they were doing at the time, according to Shannon Sharpe, it was consensual, but she's looking at it a different way.
But that's not against the law because she was of age. So even though she was 19, that's not against the law.
This is a very, very messy situation. I don't know what's true and what's not true, but I have no idea why a 54-year-old man is dating a 19, 20-year-old. I know y'all like to be out here bragging about smashing these young things, but that's not a flex to me. You 54 years old, you should be laid up with your wife and kids, taking your cholesterol medicine, minding your damn business.
You should.
Hey, I know this is the part that people don't like to be talked about because everybody likes to seem like Superman. But I ain't gonna lie, shout out to Charlamagne. I think Charlamagne's even taught people like me. Charlamagne used to be on the radio bragging about how he cheated on his wife. Well, his wife now. Back then, I think she was his girlfriend. How he didn't give a fuck, blah, blah. Charlamagne, who was starting to get a lot of money, started making a lot of things happen for himself. Essentially, when he changed his tune about a lot of stuff, happened to happen when people were trying to accuse him of some nefarious things that he was innocent of. So I think the clear message to send here is if you got something going on, or if you're related to, or if the feds hit you up about some crazy shit. Did I just go left? I'm not calling whack, chill. I'm trying to get if y'all understand what I'm saying.
He's looking at it a different way.
I have no idea why a 54-year-old man is dating a 19.
Okay, I got back on my point. Yo, I'm gonna lie to you, and I think Charlamagne does say this. Bro, a lot of the shit you used to say, man, Charlamagne only been cool recently and not get into this drama because he's been married. I'm not a fan of marriage. But one thing I can say, it seems like marriage does provide not only stability and, of course, a nuclear family for having kids and, build it out. But, bro, we just got to be honest about shit. All of these dudes who are getting older but are rich as fuck, who are chasing young pussies, chasing a vibe, chasing the threesomes, the orgies. And by the way, I'm also not excluding, because at this point I'm teetering on OG/unk status. I'm not excluding myself. Those are the people who seem to be getting in trouble. It appears that the people who have just kind of like submitted or retired to like this boring lifestyle, they don't get in trouble. It's these niggas who, you got Shannon Sharpe who still think he could bench press like 400 pounds. Yeah, of course, he's still trying to seek out a woman who's impressed by whatever he got going on to fuck for probably some validation. And that's where we get a lot of other issues that come into it. You get what I'm saying?
18, 20-year-old. I know y'all like to be out here bragging about smashing these young things, but that's not a flex to me. You 54 years old. You should be laid up with your wife and kids, taking your cholesterol medicine, minding your damn business. We need discipline and stability. That's. I ain't talking about just Shannon. I'm just talking about all of us in general. Men need discipline and stability. Find you one woman and settle your ass down, okay?
I agree with you, but it's not against the law. He can as long as the person's over a certain age, it is not against the law. So
Envy. You know this too, though. It's not that no one's saying this guy is fucking an underage kid. It's that people are saying that this guy is living and operating a life that is taking either advantage or it's just not a good look, bro. Like, I don't even want to mention certain. Bro, it's just not a good look. It's just not a good look. And again, I have no problem with it, but we're here sitting talking about Big U, I don't even know how, I shouldn't have said. Big U, we're talking about, that's how I know I'm drunk. I just randomly mentioned that. We're talking about Big U, we're talking about all of these people's like criminal situations, or we're talking about things that they shouldn't be speaking about here. And when I hear like someone like Charlamagne even kind of like say like, yo, bro, like y'all got to keep yourself out of trouble. And I watch people who continue to put themselves in trouble. Like, all these niggas are putting themselves in trouble. And I mean, I ain't gonna lie. I think even including me. I think if you're not married, right now, everybody gotta get married. Honestly. Like, this sounds crazy for me to say, but unless you can neuter yourself, bro, you gotta get to a place of not being involved in this bullshit. And what this bullshit is like some it's like a denial of what the real situation's going on. Whether it's like, you know, we're talking about indictments. I know I mentioned BU, but whether we're talking about like, dog, you're 50. You and a 20-year-old don't have too much in common. You should probably realize it's your time to check out. And I feel like there is this theory and feeling that when you're rich, like, for example, and I hate to bring him up, Shak. Remember I always have this running joke? Shak done DM 3 of my exes. Me and Tussie talked. Tussie was like, why Shak like DMing why he playing with me? Yo, Shak is like 60, bro. And like, I'm not trying to like put accusations on people, but you do know that that's what comes with it, right? Like, think about how this woman was treating Shannon Sharpe. She said, for you fucking some woman on Instagram Live, you got to pay $25,000 per ass cheek. I mean, $50,000. She was talking to him like she was almost, it was like light extortion, but she was like, oh no, just give me the money and whatever. Now we see this lawsuit, like, it feels like extortion. There's a bunch of people like Shannon Sharpe. Now, Shak is a whole different deal. And I'm not here trying to dry snitch on no one, honestly. Because Shannon, I do believe based on what he says, he's never had as much money as now. But the only thing, and I want to give credit just to Charlamagne on this, is that, bro, I ain't gonna lie to you, man. I think being a single man out here trying to get some boxing, you got some money, a woman or somebody who maybe you're not treating the best in terms of respecting them or whatever the case is, they could really string out a narrative to make you look like an asshole or to make you look like an abuser. And when someone like Charlamagne says like, yo,
to Shannon Sharpe, it was consensual, but
very, very messy situation. I don't know what's true and what's not true, but I have no.
Now, and again, I don't want to bring up mess about everybody, but I think when Charlamagne had like his awakening, I think he was just like, you know what? I just need to ride on in the sunset with my woman. This shit's getting too crazy. And I do think it's getting too crazy for everybody. Shit, I'm scared to really date. I ain't even gonna lie to you. I'm scared to like really get in any other situation. You know what I mean? I'm really untrustworthy or untrustful of people.
No idea. why a 54-year-old man is dating a 19, 20-year-old. I know y'all like to be out here bragging about smashing these young things, but that's not a flex to me. You 54 years old, you should be laid up with your wife and kids, taking your cholesterol medicine, minding your damn business. We need discipline and stability. That's. I ain't talking about just Shannon. I'm just talking about all of us in general. Men need discipline and stability. Find you one woman and settle your ass down, okay?
Now, I think this is key for like dudes who've just been successful. Because, bro, it sounds crazy that Shannon Sharpe got paid about like $20 or $30 million in his NFL tight end career. He's a Hall of Famer. He was due to get about $100 million from his commentary and having these podcasts and all these things that he was going to get paid lovely for. And essentially, it's snatched from underneath him because he decided to try to engage in a romantic relationship with a 19-year-old. And now she's making accusations, and I don't think ESPN or anyone else is going to be like, oh, well, let's think about it in context. They're looking at what a lot of us are looking at, like, well, she said A, B, and C, and we just seen the evidence of B and C, like it's probably right. Or they might be taking things out of context, right?
I agree with you, but it's not against the law. As long as the person's over a certain age, it is not against the law. So legalities, that's not against the law.
I'm with you.
It don't feel right, but for himself, it's not against the law.
I'm with you. I'm just saying a 54-year-old man is supposed to be laid up with his wife and kids somewhere. Hell, maybe even have a couple of grandkids. I don't want to be chasing no young girls at 54.
Because what are the conversations like? What are the conversations? If I'm 54 and you 20.
That's what I thought about. Like, what do y'all even talk about?
I don't agree with
signs of a stroke.
But all I'm going to say is when you see all these white people do it, Leo DiCaprio, Seinfeld, Hugh Hefner, Joaquin Phoenix, John Mayer, when they date young girls, nobody says anything. I'm not saying it's right, but it's not against the law.
But I saw Shannon with Andrew Schultz, and he was just talking about all of the ways he avoids situations like this. I don't know.
Yeah, he said that because he probably knew this lawsuit was coming.
Y'all saw that part of the conversation. How he don't even want to be on the elevator with a woman and stuff like that. It's the same thing with this. You know, a lack of discipline and stability can increase the chances of a situation like this happening. You 54.
Don't ride the elevator with single women.
Yeah,
so now if the single woman is on the elevator, don't ride the elevator with single women.
Yes,
so
you
now,
cannot do
if
that.
the single woman is on the elevator, I gotta wait.
Wait, why don't you? Because they just get too horny.
No, I don't.
Why do they get
run the risk? Sometimes
run the risk of what?
Sometimes the mention of impropriety is enough to sway people's opinion of somebody.
Really?
So I don't do that.
So if a single woman's going to go into an elevator,
I'm not getting on it.
And what do they think?
I don't let women servers come into my room to bring food.
Really?
If they come to clean the room, I leave the room. I sit in the hallway till they're done. Then I go back into the room.
Now, have you ever like blown someone's mind with that? Like, has a girl ever?
No, I mean, a lot of times when people see me, like, okay, you can get on. I was like, no, I'll wait till the other. They said, no, it's fine. And I just keep it moving like that.
And do you think that they're thinking there's like some reverse racism thing there?
No, I don't know what they're thinking.
Do you clutch your purse when white women walk around?
My crossbody? Nah. Because if I'm on the elevator by myself and a woman steps on, I'll get off.
White women only or black women?
It doesn't matter.
Interesting. Okay. By the way, did y'all hear what Boosie said about this whole thing? So a lot of people are blaming this on the white woman epidemic. I actually don't. I feel bad for people even saying that to just demonize all white women. But Boosie did kind of like chime in here. And when Boosie commented about all of this, what did he say? Did DJ Akademiks TV post it? Let's see. Yes, he says, y'all gonna learn about sticking y'all feet in that snow, LOL. She heard he was about to get that $100 million. I'm sick of these hoes. And they be knowing they could probably get a couple million to make it go away. Y'all be making it bad for women and men. Successful men gonna be scared to talk to women. I'm sick of y'all broke pussy hoes taking this route to get money. Go to San Francisco, meet some tech guys, sell y'all pussy, and get rich. I think that's the point. I think that's the point right there, right? Yeah, Shannon Sharpe, they got him down bad. Now, Law and Crimes, let's see them this. Law and Crimes, here we go. So, they have a. Hold on.
To my family.
The encounter in question took place during the day. sides are engaged in trying to litigate this in the media before litigating it in a.
Now, the thing with Law and Crimes, only one critique I have of them, they link up with certain lawyers that sometimes, are interested in more fame than just being really good. Like, for example, Bradford Cohen, he's really good. But this guy was representing the murderers of XXXTentacion. They got mollywopped in court, and he got his client life in prison. He will never leave prison ever. And now he's over here commenting on Shannon Sharpe's case.
In a court of law.
But isn't that the Justin Baldoni, Blake Lively effect, right? Isn't that what we're seeing now? It's the idea of let's battle this out on the court of public opinion, particularly, by the way, when you're dealing with such a public figure like Shannon Sharpe. The idea of if I'm fighting this in a court of law, but I'm also fighting this in the court of public opinion, if I can put enough out there to try to reverse the narrative, maybe not only I'll still retain my fan base, my career, but also it puts pressure on Jane Doe maybe to stop the lawsuit, or maybe not, because she fired back too.
No, I'm not saying that they shouldn't do it, because unfortunately we live in a time where if you don't do that on behalf of your client, are you doing them a disservice? I'm just mentioning the fact that none of this is really allowed pursuant to the rules of ethics, but I understand why they're doing it, because nowadays pretty much the court of public opinion is dictating what happens in court in and of itself. Right. So it's just part of litigating cases nowadays.
Are you concerned by the content, the value of those text message conversations? Does it complicate this case? Let me rephrase. Putting aside, assuming these really are the real conversations and the real messages of Jane Doe, you could say, I mean, she's talking about BDSM, tying up, dog collars, choking, and then she accuses him of sexual assault and being violent with her. Let me actually read you something from the lawsuit. Okay, so this is from the lawsuit. It says, a woman can say yes to consensual sexual relations with a man 99 times, but when she says no, even once, that no means no. Defendant Shannon Sharpe, a man who is accustomed to getting what he wants, completely fails to understand this basic concept. After many months of manipulating and controlling plaintiff, a woman more than 30 years younger than he, and repeatedly threatening to brutally choke and violently slap her, Sharpe refused to accept the answer no and raped plaintiff despite her sobbing and repeated screams of no. So you look at those messages, are they irrelevant?
If you establish a pattern of S&M, a pattern of voluntarily submitting yourself to someone, to accepting, violence, to accepting as part of the norm of your sex life, then obviously that's something that could be used, because he's going to say, yeah, it was consensual. So when a jury's trying to analyze whether or not these acts of violence were consensual or not, they can obviously look to the history of the relationship and whether or not she's going to admit it. So now you put her on the stand and you're like, so you allowed him to choke you. You allowed him to hit you previously. And that was something that you guys engaged in, voluntary sexual behavior, and you found it pleasurable. And you did it for the X amount of months. But then on this particular day, you told him no. So it's something that it's fruitful to bring up a trial. I think they would be doing them a disservice if they didn't explore that more. And yeah, ultimately what Mr. Busby saying is true. A woman can say yes 99 times and say no that 100th time, but the historical behavior of accepting violence as the norm in your bedroom and in your sex life is something that a jury can look at to determine whether or not she did in fact say no, because he's going to say that she said yes. He's not going to admit that she said no, that he raped her.
No, I hear you. And I knew that he was going to get on the defensive. I mean, if you believe his side, right, that he's completely innocent, you get hit with this lawsuit, right? You want to defend yourself immediately. He goes out, he puts out this.
The problem is you can't defend BDSM. You can't defend BDSM. And this is the reason why I would have said, I hope Shannon Sharpe had a constant camera recorded in the bedroom. Because if she was the only one allowed to record, or she's the only one who recorded, she's not going to turn over to the police anything that makes you look like you were, caring of her or you loved her or whatever. They're going to make the video look like you're a rapist. You know what I mean? So, I don't know.
This message on Instagram, do you think he was advised by his lawyer to do so? Let's start there. And B, purportedly outing her, naming her name, just the first name, and also what her apparent handle is or name on OnlyFans. Is that appropriate? That right? I mean, again, he's defending himself, but she filed this anonymously.
Right. Well, whether or not his attorney advised him to do it, if he took those steps without discussing it with his attorney should be very upset at him doing something of that nature. I don't think that an attorney can counsel their client to disclose the identity of a victim in a sex case. So I don't think that his attorney would ever admit to taking those steps simply because there's, laws to protect victims in sex crimes. But I understand why it's beneficial to his defense. I'm putting it out there. I'm saying who you are. I'm saying that you're an OnlyFans person. I'm saying that we were engaged in this voluntary sexual behavior where you possibly accepted money to do sexual things on camera or do sexual things for me. So it definitely benefits his defense in letting people know, listen, this is not the person that Busby's saying that it is. This is the person that I'm telling you who she is. So I think it's beneficial.
And to reverse it, I said this when I covered it earlier in the week, this lawsuit being filed by Tony Busby, he's got crosshairs on him right now. He filed a lawsuit against Jay-Z by a Jane Doe, whereas I imagine you're going to hear Shannon Sharpe say there's more to context to the conversation, look at what our relationship was like. But this was another move in this chess game, releasing this audio tape. What's your take on it?
Well, listen, an audio tape like that is damning just because if you're a man and you're talking like that to a woman, even if your defense is, you have to look at the totality of the circumstances. You have to look at the relationship that we had where she was voluntarily submissive to me. And then I was, in a position where we would obtain sexual pleasure from me being a dominant figure. That has to be his defense. But a lot of people would reject that right off the bat. Like, that's something that a lot of people are not going to stomach, are not going to understand. And he definitely has his work cut out in trying to explain to the viewing public why that type of language to a woman is appropriate. It has to be, his defense has to be that you're only looking at a small piece, but if you look at the entire relationship, that's how we would do it, and that's because she was submissive to me. People are going to reject that.
Now, I will tell you this. As this came out, I said to myself, how did they release those messages so quickly? They must have had it ready, right? You can't just have those messages. And I said to myself, did they know this was coming? Well, what do I come to find out? According to NBC, Lonnie Davis, again representing Shannon Sharpe, has confirmed that Sharpe apparently made a financial offer to this Jane Doe to try to settle this case before she filed it. In fact, while it seems he first said that it was tens of millions of dollars, then clarified and said it was at least $10 million. So the idea that if that's true, they tried to get to settle it, and then she files, and now they have their messages ready. What does that tell you?
Listen, I think that's part of what Busby has been doing historically. Like, they approach you and they tell you, listen, we have this. Let me know if you want to resolve this previously. I think if anybody looks at like the P. Diddy didn't do it, right? And then they filed against him and he settled the case in a day. We see the value of resolving cases. So I think it's on par with how Busby has been litigating his prior cases to give them an opportunity. When you look at it, settlement negotiations are usually privileged. If someone hears that he offered $10 million, what is a normal person going to think? He's guilty of something. Because people don't just, even if you're rich, don't go out there throwing around tens million or millions of dollars to resolve cases when they're innocent. People are gonna associate that offer of settlement, which they probably shouldn't, but they will. They're gonna associate that offer of settlement with guilt.
At the time of this recording, I haven't seen Shannon Sharpe file a countersuit of any kind, but
he said he was.
If this works, could he countersue for defamation, or is there a litigation privilege, right? You're allowed to make claims against somebody. You're shielded away from every time anybody sues anybody, the other side will say it's not true. You can't just turn around and say it's defamation, right? I mean, could he sue for defamation?
Right. Well, you're right. There is a litigation privilege regarding defamation actions. So I always tell people this when people ask me, can they sue? People can sue all the time. Whether or not it's going to survive a motion to dismiss, honestly, I've seen it in my career over 22 years. People sue for things that are ultimately going to get dismissed, and it doesn't affect their willingness to do it, their desire to do it. But you're right. There is a litigation privilege because I guess the mindset, the universal mindset is that you don't want to be gagging people in a court of law.
All
you
right.
want people to have.
All right. Okay. Yeah, Shannon Sharpe is in some deep waters, people. Deep waters. Some people are believing that Shannon Sharpe's lawyers fumbled it. They actually believe that Shannon Sharpe
with his family. But
Okay. It is what it is.
Yeah.
You know, yes, it's a shakedown, but you know, people can't shake you down unless you give them something to shake.
Yeah.
Well, we don't know what it is yet. Let the facts play out in court.
Well, it's definitely a shakedown.
Well, we don't know if we don't know if it's true or not.
$50 million?
Okay, it's a shakedown.
What you talking about?
What does that even mean?
Now the reality is this: Shannon Sharpe is a beloved person. If it was me, you would have a possible transgender like this, a illiterate motherfucker, and everybody else saying Act did this because we don't like him. Let me tell you this again. I always tell you when you dig a hole, make sure you dig two. So I'm not trying to get on Shannon Sharpe's ass here. Pause. What I'm trying to tell you is that Shannon Sharpe is probably he's as good as the best Negro you could get that would be likable. So when Shannon's going through this, everybody's acting like their critical thinking skills of, oh no, let's think about this. Y'all don't give nobody else this type of grace. If this was accused on Akademiks, y'all be like, man, fuck that nigga. That nigga did that shit. So again, you know, I'm trying to get through it.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
That's like a couple.
Innocent. Why would you settle?
But, or if he does settle it, it doesn't have other people come
Yeah,
out.
I just want to hear Envy and Charmin. They make sense. The women are just stupid.
To look up the laws in Nevada though, and talk to the attorney.
Nevada says it's a 20-year statute when it comes to sexual assault.
And just hearing the lawyers say out of his own mouth that they was close to a $10 million settlement. Why? You don't like when you settle, it looks like an admission of guilt. Like if you're innocent, why would you settle?
But or if he does settle it, it doesn't have other people come out, right? They always say Michael Jackson settled out that one case so other people wouldn't come out.
No, that's not what they said.
No,
Johnny Cochran actually told Michael not to settle because as soon as you settle, you become a piggy bank.
But
and everybody and their mama gonna be coming out with their hand out and accusations.
People coming out regardless if that's what they want to do at this point in our day and age. But
because remember the Cassie, Diddy settled with her, and then Aubrey O'Day came like, oh, I want my money.
Everybody and their mama came.
She got $300, and she was like, excuse me,
who got $300?
Aubrey O'Day.
No, she
Diddy gave her $300. That's what the damn Masters was worth. I think it was like $300.
I'm about to look it up,
but that to your point. Did he settle with Cassie? And then what happened?
Everybody came running out.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like I want my payday.
But if he was going to settle, he should have settled before it was a lawsuit came out.
Yeah, behind the scenes. That's why it don't make no sense. That's why none of this makes any sense to me.
So Jess is correct. It was $300.30 for the.
Yo, if they try to sell for $10 million, like they're not taking 10, they're going for the jugular. Cam gave his opinions here.
I was
responded with the text messages where him and the girl were talking, and she said some things like, I don't want anybody to cut this me saying this, but she said, I know you missed this ass, $25K for each cheek, want you to put a big black baby in me, and a whole bunch of other things to him. He also then responded with the video saying he is going to defend himself because what's going on isn't right, and he said it's all being orchestrated by Tony Busby, who has also targeted Jay-Z. He said Tony targets black men and he expects him to release a sex tape that tries to make him look guilty. So earlier, both lawyers for Shannon Sharpe and his accuser confirmed he also offered to pay $10 million to settle the case and not disclose the allegations with the girl. Whole lot to unpack. Cam, what are your initial thoughts?
Let me ask you a question before I give my opinion.
Okay.
Do you think this has something to do with her being white?
Yes.
I knew it. Why?
Because
so a black girl wouldn't do this?
I'm not saying
that's cap. That's cap. Hey, I just want to put that out there. I think us media outlets play that up. Let me tell you this. Shaq, I'm speaking from experience. I don't fuck with a lot of black chicks, a lot of Hispanic chicks, a lot of white chicks. I'm gonna just keep it going.
I think a black girl wouldn't do it, but less likely to.
Yo, that's lies. Yo, I'll sit here and I call out all y'all black chicks like, word two. Yo, my nigga, there's nothing greater than a woman scoring. Let's keep it a bean, which I hate that y'all try to act like black women will hold down supposedly a black man when they're hurt. No, they don't. They expose them, they set them up, they line them up, they get them. Bruh, nobody backdoor people more than the chick you're with, bro. Like, stop playing. Like, I hate this theory to say white women are more disloyal than black women. That's not true. A hurt woman, let me tell you this, women are only loyal to their own emotions. That's it. You could be with a bitch from, I don't care where she's from, Antarctica. She loyal to her own emotions. This idea that black women won't do something to you, that's cap. That is fully cap. It's just, I mean, it's funny to be like, oh yeah, it's because you dealing with a white woman. Like, yeah, that's a cool running joke. But let's keep it a bean. Let me tell you this. This is the facts. I'm telling all celebrities this. You with a chick, I don't care if she black, white, green, purple. I don't care if she Asian. I don't care what the fuck she got going on. Bro, if she loves you and she feel like you hurt her, or if she feel like you about to leave her high and dry, my nigga, you think she finna take that L? You think a black woman gonna take that L over a white woman or anybody else? Especially you a nigga of influence, bro. You think they about to take that shit, bro? No, nigga, they about to. This idea that black women don't do certain behavior, but other women do, is absolutely false. It's absolutely false. Even when y'all try to hear that bullshit from Meg Thee Stallion when she was like, oh, I was trying to spare a black man. No, you wasn't. Shorty, you wasn't trying to spare the nigga. You liked the nigga. Yeah, white chicks, when they like niggas, they might hold it down. You know when Meg allegedly flipped on Tory? The moment she realized the news reports was gonna make it seem like she was involved in a crime and she was gonna lose her sponsors. All that we black, they killing black people, I ain't trying to say this, went out the window. All that shit she be saying about, oh yeah, nah, it wasn't until Tory got on. No. You start losing your sponsors, you kick that nigga out the bus, you get it. This whole thing where I don't know why y'all keep saying like black women are like more. Yo, it ain't about black and white, it ain't about black, yellow, purple, pink, whatever, green. Like it's about when you with a girl, if she locked in with you, she'll do a lot for you. I don't care what race she is. That's just what it is. But everybody keep acting like there's some speciality to black women when it comes to loyalty. Bro, you know how many white chicks I done fuck, my nigga? You know how many Hispanic, my nigga, I dated Angelica for 4 years, nigga. You know what type of chick actually try to sue me? Come on, bro. Like, let's not act like I love my black queens. And I'm not gonna say that there aren't situations that black women might understand and be like, yo, I have a problem with this, but I'm not getting the law involved. And it could be whatever. That's true too. But this idea that when a nigga get jammed up, it's because he dealt with a woman not of color. Bro, let me give you the real about the Shannon Sharpe shit, bro. Shorty was with this nigga. She was clearly seeking a bag. She was asking him to get her pregnant. A lot of these chicks, she just want to get locked in with him for life. She know he got the bag. He was stringing her along. There's a point, I read it in the fucking shit. She said to him, or he said to her, he said, yo, if I was 38, I would get you pregnant because I feel like you got a pregnancy kink. You keep talking about pregnancy. He said, I'm 54 though. He was basically almost admitting to her, I can't give you what you want. You keep fiending and desiring a baby. You want to be pregnant. I can't give you that right now. That matters. Because the way how people look at these situations, they're looking at everybody else differently.
I think, first of all, the whole big black baby and me, all that is like, okay, if you're into that, you like the...
Oh, my bad. See, I be forgetting the point. This whole idea that if it was a black woman, you're not getting that. Yo, chat, I don't know if y'all done watch Christian Rock and all these other black women act out on social media. You think they're going to be 20 years old, not have nothing going on for them, meet a nigga who's going to be up 100 million. That nigga done fucked him, did all type of freaky shit with him till that nigga got bored and the nigga said, yo, peace out, I'm out. You think a black woman going to be just cool to say, okay, all right, well, I'm black. The white girls, they're going to like blame you for X, Y, Z, but I'm black, so I'm just going to let you... Come on, that shit don't happen, bro. Y'all niggas gotta like get back to reality. That shit don't happen.
Ooh, the race baiting, all that. Cool. Some people like that.
Yo, now all that big black baby shit, yeah, that's racist. I ain't gonna lie, like shorty racist. My whole thing is that I'm just not agreeing with y'all when y'all say if you get a black woman, she not gonna put a case on you. Nigga. If you get a woman, you're going to get a case. That's my only point.
That's the first thing. Second thing, we all saw Shannon Sharpe might be signing $100 million deal. Woo, 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 woo. You're an OnlyFans model and you're trying to get him with that. And now all of a sudden, $50 million. And this isn't to, discredit anybody who is, going through serious issues and like sexual assault cases. Like, hope that works out for all of you guys, but all the different terms in this, it's interesting. So yes, I think it has a lot to do with her being a white woman.
So from what I got from what
Cap. Yo, Cap, listen, I come with receipts. Anytime y'all say a white woman done did a black man bad, I could show you 20 black women that did it because black men date black women more than they date white women. I don't know if y'all think it's different. Listen, we love y'all black women, but y'all are women at the end of the day. Y'all don't take no L's. When y'all see y'all nigga moving on, y'all remember everything he done did to you, and you feel like you need. Come on, stop playing. It's a fact.
You said stay away from them white bitches. That's what you said in a real politically correct way. Yo, y'all black niggas that be fucking with these white bitches, see what happens? That's what Stat just said in a very professional way. That was really nice the way you put that, because that's all you really said. This what happened when you fuck with them white bitches. That's what you get. That's exactly what I heard from you. But look, it's a few, like you said, it's a lot of
bruh. I just want to I'm gonna just debunk this shit right now, bruh. This ain't really about black and white. This is about man and woman. Y'all bitches who end up being baby mamas and shit like that, it ain't matter what color y'all are. Y'all all the same dirt. Let's keep it a bean. I'm pulling up. Y'all keep saying like black women or some shit that let men do whatever and don't. Cap. Andre Iguodala. I remember seeing this story. I will never forget it. Child support. I remember when they said, look, the nigga child support got raised to pay $58,000 a month. It got to be a white woman that got him paying that, right? Because only a white woman would really want to just like get $58,000 because she's so evil and she's a whatever. Let's go look up his baby mama. Hi, baby mama, look. Let's keep it a bean, right? Baby mama. Hi, baby mama, look at, brother. Come on, let's get to it. This how baby mama look. Maybe I gotta. Is she white? All right, let me just think of some other situations, because y'all keep acting like black women are just black women want the same shit too, my nigga. Bro, it's not about black or white. If you're dating Andre Iguodala, if you're dating a basketball player, black, white, pink, green, Muslim, non-Muslim, Jewish, whatever the fuck you are, Buddhist, bro, we gotta stop with this shit to act like it's white women. I think, I fuck with Dr. Umar because he's funny. I let him get off whatever he want to get off. But people acting like this is some other shit, I'm looking at him like, yo, nigga, you tweaking. Bro, women are women, bro. I ain't never seen a black woman give no black man a pass on some, I'm giving you the pass because we are the same color. A woman prioritizes her feelings more than anything else, my nigga. She not gonna prioritize her race, none of that. If she's hurt, she prioritizes her feeling. That's a fact. Dwight Howard, baby mama. It's a black chick, bro. Like, bro, again, ain't nothing wrong with black women. Love black women. But this idea that black women are like so much, y'all are fucking up by dealing with white women because black women don't do it. I look at them, I'm like, which black women don't do it? It ain't about black and white. This is about women. Anyway, I digress. Did I miss something?
Black niggas that be fucking with these white bitches, see what happens? That's what Stat just said in a very professional way. That was really nice the way you put that.
And another thing, I'm gonna keep it a bean with y'all. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. Word two. Yo, nobody, like, listen, all y'all female pages should print this and like post it. This is how shit be going down. Shannon Sharpe get in trouble. All of y'all chicks on the Shade Room and all these female black sites, you know what y'all say? That's what you get for fucking with a black chick. That's what you get for. Here's the reality of it, because I've seen it happen to me. Yo, I promise y'all, Shannon Sharpe, he's just getting the league against some money, this and third. Bro, when y'all post him or y'all are talking about him, because he don't fit this stereotype of like either a thug or whatever, y'all call him corny. Y'all call him gay. Y'all don't even want him. Y'all don't want him. So the women he end up gravitating towards is white women. Because y'all chicks are chasing drug dealers, degenerates, niggas with 15 other baby mamas. Y'all don't want no nigga who got his shit together. Y'all call Shannon, a nigga like Shannon, they call me corny. You feel what I'm saying? Then when the nigga go date the white girl, y'all say, well, why you dating the white? Yo, y'all all saying we corny. Y'all don't fuck with us. Y'all only like degenerates, niggas with 15 baby mamas, drug dealers, pimps, losers, abusers. Y'all don't like regular men. So when a nigga go date a white woman, y'all tight. Y'all be on the Shade Room. You with your 15 baby daddies is mad about a nigga who gonna date. Bro, it's a fact. I'm telling y'all, this is facts. A lot of these niggas y'all seen go fuck with white chicks. By the way, I'm not encouraging it. All I'm saying is that y'all be like, it's after the shit done happen, y'all be like, that's what he get for going fucking with them white chicks. He should have came home and got a good black girl. Y'all don't want the nigga anyway. You know what the first thing y'all gonna say about a nigga like Shannon Sharpe? He just getting the league. Now he just getting like $1 or $2 million. Look at this big lip Negro right here. He corny as hell. He don't know how to dress. He keep wearing them tight ass clothes. This nigga is corny. He's a cornball. Don't y'all realize in black society, like all the people y'all call corny end up being the most successful niggas? And then y'all be getting mad when they get real successful. Y'all be like, why y'all did white girls? Because y'all didn't want them. No, y'all wanted them. Y'all didn't want them niggas. Y'all didn't want Shannon. I guarantee Shannon fuck with white bitches. Y'all didn't want him in college. Y'all didn't want him in high school. Y'all never wanted him, period. Facts. Now y'all talking about why Uncle Shay only like white women. Y'all never wanted him his whole life. Y'all call non-criminals. Y'all call dudes that don't do degenerate shit, don't have 15 baby mamas, corny. You don't want them. So when they go to the white woman who love those niggas, white women like, oh, you got good credit? Oh my God, you're not a felon? I could apply with this with your name? Their pussy is wet. When the nigga go to that woman, now y'all saying, oh, you a sellout. You got rich and went to that. I'm sorry, this is a cultural thing we talking about. Again, there are certain dudes that like really just on some color shit, and those dudes are weird. But a lot of times when I be hearing, like, sometimes I read in post buyer's remorse from black women. And I'm not blaming black women because I love black women. But I'm saying sometimes when they're trying to attribute blame to the black man, saying, why did you go to that white woman? They don't realize that type of black man growing up, y'all resent. I always said about Barack Obama. Yo, all these hoes, you think these bitches who's talking about we outside, all this bullshit you be seeing on social, you think they would date a Barack Obama type nigga? They're calling him corny, gang. They're not dating him. But when he become president, they're like, ooh, Barack is so sexy. Yeah, these bitches only like the end product. They don't like when you build it. When Barack is in law school, she's dating a nigga that's trapping and scamming. That's a fact. When he become president, now she's like, ooh, look at him. Oh my God, look at how Barack is sexy. That's how it be. That's why sometimes, again, I ain't saying all the time, because there are some niggas who just love white women for whatever reason. Shout out to Wale and her. But we also do gotta really just respect the fact that it's not even that niggas like white women. It's like niggas go where they feel they're accepted. And like, for example, you know what's so funny? All of the bitches on social media, I be seeing them saying, oh man, fuck these niggas. We need a nigga like Russell Wilson. You know why? Because half of them they've had kids with drug dealers, bums, losers, everything. Now they want a nigga to play stepdaddy. A real nigga not gonna play stepdaddy. A real nigga gonna pipe you out and send you home to your babysitter and your kid. He ain't playing stepdaddy. Not in the black community. Because we don't do cuckery shit for the most part. But then you find one guy that do. Russell Wilson. When Russell just came out, they wouldn't fuck with that nigga, man. Ain't nobody saying Russell was the type of nigga who they want to get with. Man, hell fucking no. They want to get with degenerates. But now Russell is the stepdaddy of the year. The dad who stepped up. They praising him. Goofy shit. Like, they praising him now, but in reality, they're only doing it because of their self-serving means. Because he's doing things with women that they could identify with. When he ain't had no kids, I ain't never hear these bitches talk about that nigga like that. Let's look at the landscape. You have a certain sect of women, all of them want to have kids with Youngboy. Youngboy got 10 kids. Boosie just announced he got his 9th. Like, for the most part, you see these motherfuckers, they're having kids or they're showing you the lifestyle that it's degeneracy. However, they'll then try to shame you or whatever. So again, when I hear that Shannon Sharpe fucking with white women, Shannon Sharpe was a big, ugly, awkward, big lip, like his tongue moves slow, so like skip. He was that his whole life. You think them black chicks was giving him no love in college? No, nigga. They were clowning that goofy ass nigga. Here's the thing. He gets successful later, now they act like they on his dick. You know who was always probably showing him love? Because he was some big black Negro out of whatever southern place he was from. Them white chicks. Oh, like little cheerleaders. They love, like, they're just supporting. You know what he started being attracted to? The chicks that, despite him looking and having a face only a mother could love, them chicks were supporting him. That's where his love for white women started. He realized, he said, yo, damn, them other chicks, they gonna Jones on me. They gonna whatever. These chicks, they fuck with me. He started dating white women. When he get older, now they shaming him for dating white women. You know, why you doing that? It is what it is. Anyway.
Because that's all you really said. This is what happened when you fuck with dumb white bitches. That's what you get.
Like, I'm gonna keep it a bean with you. I went to Rutgers University. I'm telling real stories here. Like, I don't got time for this other shit that niggas be saying, because niggas be on social media. They ain't, you know, I use my college stories and shit I've seen, and if niggas say they seen otherwise, they could use that. But I try to use personal anecdotal stories. Let me tell you this. I went to Rutgers University. There was always a nigga that was pushing 400, 500 pounds. He was a lineman probably. Yo, it's Rutgers University. We in the Big Ten. Like, these niggas are, like, if you haven't even a decent year, you could make it to the NFL. You know that nigga who 420 pounds, and yeah, you could call him a gold digger, but a lot of times with every woman, they're always trying to, like, scope how successful you could be. So, you know what I mean? If you want to call just white women as gold digger, I'm wondering what you call the other women who date athletes at all. You know the nigga who like 420 pounds is and there? You know who found him attractive? It's some petite-ass white chick. Now, she probably is a gold digger. She probably got that brain to say, yo, this nigga going to be in the league. But again, it just is what it is. You feel what I'm saying? Anyway.
That's exactly what I heard from you. But look, this is a few, like you said, it's a lot of shit to unpack with this. First thing you said, $100 million, now they want 50 out of nowhere. But you know, when you sue for 50, you don't really want 50. You take about 23, 20, 24, you go for the high number so you can settle out for what you really want. That's first and foremost. Secondly, she 20. How old? 92?
50, so I'm gonna get his
like,
exact age.
you gotta know what's going on. Not saying she don't fuck with you. Listen, I remember
56.
56. I remember Delicious from Flavor of Love wanted Unc. She was on his body too. Unc stay in shape. He popping, etc. It's a lot going on. Especially he has a newfound light. You know what I'm saying? What I will say is this, is that to me, for this last few years, and I'm talking about not even a few years, probably 6, 7 years.
Also, listen, you know me, I try to get the game and give up everything. I try to be honest with everything. Yo, us older dudes who got bread, there's a wave of 20 to 23-year-old girls who trying to be attracted to us. And when I say us, niggas in their 30 plus, right? Especially y'all niggas in y'all 40s and especially y'all niggas in y'all 50s. I'm going to tell you why. The YNs, they can't handle the YNs. The YNs these days, bro, the YNs on TikTok, Snapchat, Instagram, outside, they're fucking all type of girls. They can't get a nigga within their age bracket to even approach something like monogamy. So what they've been doing is they're looking to older dudes, which kind of helps them because older dude usually is more financially secure, but also older dude, like these YNs, like realistically, Shannon Sharpe told this chick, she said she wanted some dick. It was 11:30. He told her, yo, I got to go. It's too late for that. Maybe tomorrow. A woman gonna internalize that, I can control that nigga. That nigga like, all right, cool. Yo, YN is still trying to seek pussy at 5 a.m., man. So again, you get to kind of realize why some of these like trends are happening.
Years now, because he started on, what is that shit with Skip he was doing? Whatever that shit was called, Undisputed, about 6, 7 years ago. So you have Undisputed. Then he has the success with Club Shay Shay. Then he has his other shows that he do on the internet. Then not only that, you leave Undisputed and go to First Take. So when I first seen Shannon on the internet arguing, going back and forth with certain people, you know, even me and him had a couple words here and there. Nothing crazy. I got mad love for Uncle. Super duper love for that nigga. But when I seen him going back and forth with other people, so to speak, and I said, he doesn't get it. Now he probably gets it. He's getting more seasoned. I'm talking about last year when he's arguing the sex tape, if you want to call it that, and going back, and before that was other things, people saying that he was gay, and he's going back and forth arguing with people. I'm saying, it's one thing being a successful athlete, and then it's a different thing being a successful entertainer, even though sports is entertainment. But, you know, Shannon Sharpe is a Hall of Famer, Super Bowl champion, so people know who he is.
Yo, all right, shout out to Kim. I guess I'm just trying to get my shit off. Yo, I also got a theory about this whole thing with Shannon. Y'all can believe it or not. Y'all, one in the chat if you believe it, two if it's your act, you drunk, shut the fuck up. One, you believe it, two, you think you drunk, shut the fuck up. Yo, Shannon know he 50. Yo, let me tell you this. I think Shannon was trying to have this relationship. You see, let me tell you this. It takes a different type of weird-ass nigga to just accept being like, you're just a trick. Right? Even if you're in a strip club, no matter, even the niggas who claim they trick, even in the strip club, they want to feel a certain type of way. You know what I'm saying? What told me that Shannon Sharpe was aware of the situation was that when she kept asking about a baby, put that black baby in me. And he eventually, they broached the subject and he was just saying, yo, listen, you got a baby kink. And she was kind of flipping on him. But then he told her directly, he said, listen, if I was, he was like 54 at the time. He's like, yo, if I was 38, I would have a kid with you, girl. He basically told her like, yo, listen, shorty, like, don't think I ain't trying to fully gaslight you. Like, if I was younger, I would definitely have a kid with you. but I'm not that right now. And I got these other things going on. And that told me a few things about Shannon. Shannon, he's green, but he ain't that green. I'm gonna tell you why I think he's green. He's green because he thought there was an understanding. There was an understanding. I think for him, he never thought she was ever going to extort him. But did he think that she was trying to get some bread? Yeah, but let me tell you this, bro. Shorty's 20. Like, with all due respect, like, who knows? Maybe that 50 grand that she was asking for was the only 50 grand she asked for, I don't know, like, the only money she was going to get for, like, 4 or 5 months. Bro, this is big boy game. We not talking about broke nigga shit. This is big boy game. All right, her getting a little 50 grand, like, that's like his girl. You get what I'm saying? So it's like, he's not, like, he knows he's tricking a little bit, but he's not even really tricking in his mind because he's like, that's my girl. I'm older. She be wanting to do certain shit. Look, she hitting him like for the dick at, yo, come fuck me at 11:30. He's like, nah, it's too late. So he know he not really doing everything that he need to do or would do, but he's trying to balance it with, yo, I got the bag. I'm going to take care of you. And for what I can't do on your schedule, you going to be able to understand it because I'm putting down hard, cold cash to take care of you. You feel me? That's how I feel Shannon saw this whole thing. Shannon is thinking, it's kind of like, yo, yeah, I'm tricking a little bit, but it ain't really tricking because I do know you like me. But for the things that if you was dating a YN, like these chicks dating a YN, that nigga might be off perks, pills, snoring coke, fucking her for 8 hours at a time, doing this, going on a drill, whatever the fuck these chicks are. I don't know what a 20-year-old into right now. But when you a grown-ass man, you got a job in the morning, which is a multi-million-dollar job. You got nightcap, you got this. Bro, you got to go get some sleep. So you know what Shannon not dumb. So I think Shannon was just like, all right, like, you know I'm going to spoil you type shit, you know, whatever. Like, you could call that simping, but whatever. He's like, yo, I might not do that with you, but I'm going to spoil you a little bit. So I don't think he thought the money was nothing. So I know we looking at the money shit and we're like, bro, Shannon is up. Shannon is up. Like, he's good. So I don't think the money was anything. What I think really kind of stood out, and I think he didn't know, is that I don't think he ever thought that she would be blackmailing him. And that's what that turned into. Now, granted, was there signs? Yeah, because even when I'm pretty sure he wanted to throw us some money anyway, right? I don't know if her birthday had passed or something like that. He kind of wanted to throw us some money. But it kind of got too far, right? And he realized at the last minute that she was extorting him, even though there was kind of signs like, you know, she was saying certain things when it comes to like, and it should have let him know like, bro, she wants some money or else. Anyway.
But now you're sitting there talking about people. It's one thing when you're catching the ball, scoring touchdowns. It's another thing when you're opinionated about different people. So he found a new brand of success, and I don't think he knew about it in the beginning because, you know, he used to say, my sister said, when you're at the top, this, that, and third. Yeah, nigga, that's the way it goes. People are going to want to come at you when you're successful in this realm. When you're successful in football, people can't run as fast as you or jump as high as you or catch touchdowns. It's something different to where you're being opinionated. And now that you have a smartphone, everybody has an opinion. Anybody with a smartphone can have an opinion.
Cam, you keeping it light, man. I'm shooting straight tonight. You ain't shooting straight, gang.
25,000 a cheek, and you still speak to the bitch? Like you said, to me, it sounds like they had a lot of, what's the word? I don't want to use BDSM. They had a...
Yo, that 25,000 a cheek shit, they're taking it and highlighting it, but here's the real context of 25,000 a cheek. Yo, she's mad at Shannon. She mad at Shannon for fucking some other girl on Instagram Live. She know Shannon love that pussy. She knows Shannon don't want to lose that pussy. So she looks at it and says, yo, you got to apologize because I ain't going to fuck with you. She was ignoring him. we don't see the call log, but she was blowing up his phone because she keeps texting him back to back. I'm not answering. I want an apology, blah, 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 until he finally says, I already apologized, Gabby. Now, yeah, she does go overboard. She said, yo, I want to, send me some money. Now, here's the thing. For me, that's egregious. A bitch telling me this, let me tell you this. I have one rule, and again, this is just my rule, and nobody got to adopt my rule. This is my rule. Listen, if I got a main bitch and I got some side bitches and I got like some hoes over there, only person that get money from me is my main bitch. So if you a side bitch, if you one of the hoes, you need to figure out a way to get to be the main bitch. The main bitch gonna get everything. She gonna get the Chanel. She gonna get everything. That's not tricking to me. I'm gonna take care of my main girl. The rest of you hoes, y'all gotta figure it out, because if you a side bitch to somebody else, I imagine you another nigga's side bitch, and we all sharing you. So like I always say, the screech spade the tap. So I'm not gonna be showering you with gifts. I only shower the girl that's gonna be loyal. The one, like my main joint that I know that, like, yeah, I'm giving pressure to that. Yeah. The rest, like me. So if you've ever seen, that's a problem I have. Because it'll be a side chick that'd be like, yo, I heard, shut your stupid ass. You a side chick. You don't get nothing. Not from me. That's a fact. Hey, that's just me. Now, when it comes to how I think Shannon's running his program, I think he was already giving Shorty bread. So everybody keep talking about his $25K per cheek. I think he was giving her bread like that. He was giving, bro, she's talking to him about, like, a side chick can't tell me I'm cheating on her. Bitch, I got a whole main girl. What are you talking about? This girl was talking to Shannon Sharpe saying, you're cheating on me. So for whatever reason, in her mind, she think that she and Shannon got some shit going on. Matter of fact, her actions even tell us she thinks she and Shannon got some shit going on. So that's a little bit different. We can't just call him a trick because of that. It looked like, yo, it's his girl. Or maybe he's gaslighting her to act like it's his girl. Just listen.
Yo, 25,000 a cheek, and you still speak to the bitch? Like you said, to me, it sounds like they had a lot of.
By the way, I could pull it. You want me to pull it up? I'll pull it up. I'll pull it up, chat. Y'all got to go. If y'all don't know, y'all want to go get all this paperwork. It's at theacademy.blog. Here we go. Here we go. You go here, hit Shannon Sharpe full whatever. We're going to have all the messages. Now, granted, they probably talked on the phone, but here's the reality of it. That 50K was first mentioned by Shannon Sharpe. I'm going to show y'all. So it looked like he was trying to, like make her feel some type of way. Look, I want to fuck. If I was 38, I would get you pregnant. So everything I'm telling y'all. Right? And he's trying to call her out. Yo, Gabby, I think that's a kink for you. You know you don't want a baby. Hold on, let's get to the money. Let's get to the money. We're going to get to the money right now, right? So she going to send her PayPal. Hold on, let me just go down all the way down to that. She going to send her PayPal and shit like that. Where is that shit at? She going to send her PayPal. Okay. Oh, this is the end. All right, let's figure out when she sends the PayPal. Give me 1 second, chat. Give me 1 second. Now, granted, there's probably more conversations that started, but look like she was dubbing him, and he tried to offer some money or a gift to get her back on board. Remember, he just fucked another girl on Instagram Live. She know he love her pussy, and she's playing her leverage. Where's the fucking PayPal? Here's the go. All right, bet. Check this out. Remember, look. So this is the new year, and this is coming into this year, I believe, right? 1/1, which is January 1st. Happy New Year, Gabby. This is Shannon saying this. Can't wait to see you. See what it has in store for us. Look, now this, it doesn't make too much sense. It says, give 50K and I'll let you come over to the house. I don't know what this means, though. It looks like, so this is from Shannon to Gabby. This is kind of odd, but something 50K. Look, it reads half as she's asking for 50, but it reads like he's offering it. Look, I let you come over to the house. Shannon, she was coming to Shannon's house. But Shannon would have to give her. Anyway, she sends the PayPal, right? Shannon says, I don't got Cash App. She says, what you got? I got $10K cash. Send me a pic or FaceTime me with it. What's taking so long? So it was an agreement about $50,000 already. That's when she gets to the thing everybody keeps quoting, saying, I know you missed this big juicy ass, $25K per ass cheek. So here's my thing. Again, I ain't into that tricking shit. Like, for me, I tell any girl, like, listen, you know what I mean? I don't care what y'all done seen online. Like, if y'all trying to y'all got to become my girlfriend. Y'all got to figure out how to get out the muddy waters of being a bitch I fuck, being one of the bitches I fuck, being a chick I really fuck with, and then get to being my main chick. Now, once you get there, the grass is greener definitely on whatever other side. But you got to get there, right? It appears that Shorty, like, she's only talking about what Shannon was talking about already, $50K. She ain't just say you're paying for the ass cheek. She's trying to encourage him to send it because she was saying, you don't have Cash App? He's like, No, you don't got PayPal? Cash App? I only got it in cash. So she sends him a nude to say, come on, player. Like, that's at $50K, like 25 per ass cheek. So the whole point I'm trying to say, I'm not going to call Shannon a trick because I think he was telling her girlfriend shit. Because she's even telling him, yo, you're cheating on me. And he not saying, yo, Gabby, we're not together. What do you mean I'm cheating on you? Like, how am I cheating on you? We're not together. Right?
What's the word? I don't want to use BDSM. They had a lot of like little rough relationship. When I say that, choke her and she like it, or grab her up and she like it. Because there's some shit I read it too, that he had anal sex and she got mad because he ain't put the condom on, or some shit like that. Obviously, Shorty likes some of this shit, my personal opinion. And like Stat said, I don't want to be disrespectful.
Of course she likes it. Yo, Cam, I don't even know why you mentioned words. I don't know what sponsors you got. Shorty, here's the thing that we got to, like, I read through all this paperwork, man. Shannon Sharpe, he a freaky ass nigga. But he did not introduce this woman to these freaky.
So Shannon Sharpe is being sued by Jane Doe by the same man that has a case against Diddy, or try to put a case against Diddy, Jay-Z. Honestly, from what it's looking like, Tony Busby only goes after successful black men. Like, okay, let's say even if they're wrong, like from the outside looking in, he literally only goes after successful black men. And I don't know if it's like a personal vendetta or what he has, but amen. It's not a, feel me, I can't really give my personal opinions, but it's crazy. I hope this isn't true. I don't see this case really going anywhere. Like, cases like this is really only for headlines, so it sounds crazy. And like, I feel like with a lot of black people, you're guilty, like, and then proven innocent. You're not like proven innocent until, like, you feel me, till you go to court. And this headline just looks so crazy. And like what Axe said, he has $100 million deal on the line. Of course they want to get him out of here, bro, or lower the deal or something. I don't know. But it's your boy Big Act News. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and pray for the best for your Shannon Sharpe, man.